Alrighty, guys. Looky. A lot of my parts got here today. The estimates that I wrote up over the week. Okay, yeah, I remember this grand. No, this was a Durango. Okay, this is the one where I think the customer uh, jumped it backwards. Yeah, y'all know what this is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we call a fuse array. Okay, when you got no power going to nothing, chances are you blew one of the main fuse that feed the alternator. Now, what I did to get it started, I just removed the cable over to a known good portion of the fuse box, and then just to find out the alternator not charging. So very well, the alternator could have shorted it out. All right, could have popped this fuse because that line come directly from the alternator. So either they jumped it wrong or the alternator just shorted out the system. Hey, Charlie. Alrighty, guys. Yep, it's here. Word on the street, my parts are here. Now, guys, this is all the estimate I wrote up for the past week. A lot of it got approved. For instance, all right, we'll go over some. Let's go over this. I don't know if y'all remember the Durango I wrote up that it wouldn't start. So, fuse array is open. Main fuse link that feeds the car. Well, yeah, I don't know. Only way this can happen, guys, is if somebody jump started wrong, put the positive on the negative and vice versa. Yeah, one of these fuses was open, so I simply moved the wire over to a known fuse. I had to start the car and get it in, but when I started up, I found out the alternator not charging. Okay, so I did my alternator test, found out the alternator has failed. So because the alternator feeds the fuse, or that circuit run through the fuse array, the alternator could very well have shorted it out or opened the circuit. Yeah, so it was either the alternator or somebody jump started wrong. Either way, damn it, I got a battery, alternator, and a fuse array. I got to do that on the Durango. That's gonna be fun. What we got here? Oh, typical oil leak, high mileage, 3.6 pentastar. Yeah, no Derman, guys. We use the best. Yeah, Mopar. I know it's plastic, but it's better. All right. Let me say this again. This is not the same cooler that's on the freaking the older model cars. All right, the 2011. Remember, this thing showed up. This car showed up. 3.6 showed up in 2011. All of those coolers are garbage. Okay, this is not the same cooler that's on 2011 model cars. This has been revised. So some of you guys that act like you don't have freaking common sense. Like, don't you think every oh my god, I can't do this right now with y'all. But anyway, in order to do a cooler, we're gonna lose some coolant, so we always upsell a coolant flush as well. Yeah, I got seals and gaskets right here. Now, this is what I've been waiting on. Y'all remember the cop car? Yeah, the freaking ticker. Yeah, it don't even have a lot of miles on it. It's just idle hours, guys. Idle hours is bad for a freaking Hemi. This is a Hemi, of course. It's supposed to be my headset, but there's no head gaskets in here. Remember, you got to take the heads off just to do the lifters. This is a cam and block design, so there's no, rocker arms per se. All right, I got lifter rails. I know a lot of people always go in with the Hellcat lifters or Hellcat oil pump and shit like that. No, guys, and it won't mean that people be literally suggesting that I do MDS deletes. Why don't you just delete the MDS? Man, we don't undo we don't. This is a real shop. We don't do crap like that. Disable the MDS. Take out. No. You do that crap to your own car, man. You don't do customer cars. You don't disable nothing the factory put on the car. So I got 4 rails of these. And of course the camshaft. Alright. Yeah, guys. Do not. I repeat. Do not. It's not good. It's not advisable to let your car idle for an extremely long period of time. Or you can end up ticking. Now, let me say this about a camshaft, okay? People always wonder, people say crazy stuff like, Mopar sell trash camshaft. The motor always eating up camshafts. Whew, well, y'all killed me with some of y'all sayings. Let me say this, all right? This camshaft differs from the 3.6 Pentastar by way of, there's no tone wheel on here. There's no electromagnetic tone wheel on this camshaft. Okay, so the only reason, let me say this again, the only reason you should replace, or you should have a need to replace a camshaft, is if the camshaft is damaged. You hear me? Damaged. Okay, camshaft don't typically wear out. Yeah, they don't just, man, my cam wore out. I need a new cam. Camshaft become damaged because of things like this. All right, these lifters, the needle bearings inside the roller bearing will fail, and this bearing right here will simply collapse. So when that happens, the edges of this lifter will essentially start eating into the cam lobe, like such. When that needle bearing fall out, yeah, you're just gonna start eating into it. Then and only then is the reason why you need to replace the camshaft. Okay, stop saying camshaft sucks. Stop asking me where can I get a better camshaft. What the hell you need a better camshaft for? Figure out what ate into that camshaft. Camshaft didn't just chew into itself. This camshaft only had one freaking job: push up and down on push rod to open and close valves. Man, y'all. I gotta keep in mind when I'm dealing with, or when I'm speaking with, or typing with, or communicating with, guys in Facebook forums and stuff like that. They're a different breed, because I be in some of those forums and people are like, what do y'all think my problem is? I got such and such. They just yell out the first thing that come to mind. And what's really sad is the people that own the cars will go do it. I seen one and say, yeah, your PCM probably bad. Okay, I get a new PCM. The next post thread, man, the PCM didn't fix it. It cost me $500-$600. Like, there was no diagnosis done, and you just okay. Well, anyway, if you own a Hemi, try not to do extended idle. Okay, this is a cop car, so I don't know who paying for this. I don't care as long as I get paid. So yes, this is what we got here. Guys, I'm busy. I'm coming in Saturday. Y'all know about the transmission going on that van that he never serviced. Oh, this is the one with the check engine light with the P06DD. Yeah, y'all see that? Ladies and gentlemen, that is an oil pump. Yeah. This one is partially sludged. I can see, you can't tell through the cap, so you got to pull the cam sensor out. It's a Pentastar, of course. Dual stage oil pump, okay? 2 modes, all right? That's determined by this solenoid, all right? A lot of people will say, and I agree, there's nothing ever wrong with the pump. An oil pump should last the life of your car, all right? Because they introduce electronics to these oil pumps. Now the oil pumps are susceptible to needing replacement because an electrical part failed. All right, I'm not going through the trouble to remove this oil pump just to replace the solenoid. If I go to you got to remove the oil pump just to do this, unless you got a tricky way to get this out. I'm sure there's some geniuses out there that can figure out how to do it. JT just not one of them. So if I go through that trouble, I'm going in with a new pump, and it's gonna come with the solenoid. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that Monday. Easy peasy, man. It take me tops 30 freaking minutes. All right, I ain't gonna tell y'all. It's a 4-hour job, but it ain't gonna take me that long. So my hands are tied. I'm coming in tomorrow, guys. I got work to do. Ain't no sense putting off, and I ain't got nothing to do. Not that I don't have nothing. I can always find something to do, but I rather make money. So I gotta go. That's all I have, man. Let me get out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I got a lot of freaking work to do. Some of y'all may say, look at all that broke Chrysler's junk. Neglect. I'll even go so far as say neglect on that, because they just let it idle. Typical oil leak on a high mileage car. Who knows? Just one of those typical failures. That don't mean the car maker's garbage. That just means that's why I freaking exist, to fix cars that break. How's that? All right, I gotta go, y'all. Pissing me off. I'm out.